Las Vegas, so I believe I put either, I think it was $20 or $50 down, and I was getting either 50 to 1 or 20 to 1 for the White Sox to win the World Series. And lo and behold, they won the World Series that year. And so I won $1,000. I have a marker for when I made my switch, and I've never looked back. Never looked back. And one of the interesting things about being going from, Cubs to Sox is that Cubs fans are, kind of nonplussed about Sox fans. They snub their nose, but they don't really care about Sox fans. The Sox fans truly hate Cubs fans. And so, to really make it my conversion full-fledged, I took that on as well, and it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun disliking Cubs fans.
Yeah, you're not going to please everyone.
Nope.
Wow, you're better than a therapist. You just explained all my family issues in 2 sentences.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
So are you the man? Who's the managing broker at your establishment? Oh, you are. Mm-hmm. You're the managing broker. Is that a good thing?
It has its moments.
Yeah.
It has its moments.
How many agents have their license hanging in your place?
Currently?
Yeah.
3.
In addition to you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And they're all underlings, I take it? Like your redheaded stepchild?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha. Your brother-in-law's kid who can't do anything else, and so
Oh, no.
yeah. They're losers basically, and you have to do all the heavy lifting.
Because I have the people under the stairs, and then I have my brokers.
Yeah. So the idea here is, I think what Patrick had in mind is no one's going to watch a podcast unless it provides value, right? It's got to be infotainment. It has to provide information, and it has to do so in an entertaining way,
And
right?
who's Patrick?
The owner of this establishment.
Very good.
He's Patty in the Patty O'Fagans.
Got it.
So the idea is, and this might work because you might offer a unique perspective. I was thinking about Dennis Hike. Do you know Dennis?
The name rings a bell.
Yeah, he's a dad at SMA. Our kids go to school together. That's how we know each other. So what we were thinking.
School?
Well, wait, whoa! Do we know each other? Dear God. Some people.
I know the northwest side a little bit.
No, in Bucktown.
Oh.
I live over by the United Center, and he lives in
gotcha,
Logan Square.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so our children go to school together over at St. Mary of the Angels.
Gotcha.
And ding, make donations. So the idea here being that we're looking for this is it, right? You come in, you shoot the breeze, hey, what's going on? And this is what's going on in the real estate market right now, right? And if you're looking to invest, right? Somebody out there says, I'm worth $750,000. I want to put $100,000 into the real estate business. How do I do this? I want to get in the real estate business, right? Or I own a 2-flat and I rent out the upstairs to my mother and I want to do more. Or I'm really handy and I want to swing a hammer. How do I buy a place that I can fix up and flip, right? Flipping houses is all the rage, right? You drive the signs, right, that say I'll pay cash for your house. You listen on the radio, there's people who say, come to my free seminar, I'll show you how to flip houses. You with me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it's those kinds of things that say there are people out there, that's the demand, that's the audience.
Gotcha.
Right? So think of your audience as someone who you want to do business with,
Okay.
right? And now I also know that your business is fairly unique in that you have a certain group of people that you do business with over and over and over and over again,
True.
right?
4 times so far.
The most.
Right.
Right. But it's also true that if you could get 4 or 5 more people into the fold,
Sure.
right? What that would do is that would help drive up cost. That would drive up, you have more bidders for property, right? Selling prices go higher, therefore your 4.5% or 5% or whatever is more money, right? More income, flip the neighborhood faster, more transactions puts more money in your pocket. That's the idea.
Sure.
Okay. So the idea is, and we can do multimedia, we can put up a map, right? If you give me a graphic, we can put the graphic on the computer and I can show on the graphic. If we're really feeling frisky, we could actually bring in like a green screen. You know what I mean? We can put in
anything can happen on that.
We could put on a green screen where you can put like the neighborhood really big on the back of a green screen and say, now here's a place that just sold, or here's a place that just sold.
Don't mind all the gerrymandered lines that border this ward.
Right.
But
Is that happening in Chicago? The gerrymandering? We probably
system,
invented it.
our
over
wards
here in
look like
Chicago.
puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
But
And then, do you have any good aldermanic stories?
yeah, but
Yeah,
I was so
that's-
scared to even say anything.
Well, you can just tell me and then I'll tell them.
Okay.
Well, I won't say the source.
Okay, good.
All right?
Say it's anonymous. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's one?
Well, I'll tell you the ward, or I'll tell you what happened. I won't tell the ward. One more level,
Right?
or still keep it to 3 levels, but have the bottom not be forced to be retail. There were 11 vacancies within 2 blocks, and I thought it was a slam dunk with the alderman, because you'll be getting rid of a building that they already thought was very not aesthetically pleasing, and get a whole new building. So yeah, either let them go up one more level or make them not have to have retail on the bottom. And nope, it was over in 10 minutes.
You said she, I think. Was that?
And in 10 minutes, it was at all the price and terms, all the signed contract, out down the drain.
Who's the alderman?
I'll never tell. No, I
Oh,
don't
but you asked for a variance, right? Is that what you're saying? And you didn't get it.
No, but that killed the whole progress of that street.
Yeah. Did you make a donation?
In the form of sports tickets. Here's the thing: don't give Sox tickets to
No.
Northside. Or not,
You're right. Yeah.
But the Southside alder person will take sports tickets, right? They'll take your Sox tickets.
Depending on where you just always have to know your surroundings. Is my advice.
Yeah. All right. All right. So is that something that works? Is that, can you come in and kill half an hour?
Yeah, I would
Once a
definitely
week?
make points once a week. I didn't know. Wow.
Once every
So
2 weeks?
am I going out for the the co-star role in one episode, or a series regular?
I don't know. Well, we'll see how the audience likes you.
Oh, okay, cool.
We'll see how many views you can bring in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then in that case, I would prep before a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not asking, right, with this, there's no homework assignment, right? This isn't
That's what I
a, well, that's what Bill asks. He's like, what do I got to read? I'm like, I don't read anything,
And the dying stand should be, we will have a podcast till the day they put a hotel up where we're sitting. Or wherever.
Yeah, go with that.
there's-
Yeah, go with that.
Whatever ends up happening, you never know where
Yeah.
your family or where your mom and pop. It's just nice. It's a mom and pop in Chicago. You can't say that to a lot of places that are within the city limits.
What, you mean like this place? Oh,
It's not a chain.
there's a lot of non-chains. There's a lot of corporate-tocracy.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
my point. So it's
Yeah.
nice.
Right. Even like the girl in the goat is not a, right, I forget her name. Sheldon Lizzie, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I don't know her name, but she was on TV. I know that.
But she got like institutional money
Yeah.
to open that. When she got her Beard Award,
Yeah.
someone said, well, you should own a restaurant.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right, and so they gave her $3 million to
yeah.
open up a restaurant.
Yeah.
She owns 10% of it or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then when she opened up Little Goat,
Right.
she owns that in a greater percentage, right?
Yeah.
She might not, she owns 60% of it with a
Yeah.
little bit of, she put in some of her own money.
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of these places are owned. A lot of the restaurants in town are owned by a corporate parent that owns 6 or 7 restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seems to be the way.
seems to be the way to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And a great piece of real estate that is another one last mom and pop
Uh-huh.
is, can I do my plug? Because this is just a test run
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Chez Moi at 2100 North Halstead.
Ding.
And downstairs, the ceilings are made from a really expensive material.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell it was where they had a speakeasy back
Oh,
in the
cool.
20s.
What's it? 2100 North.
2100 North Halstead. They had to close off a tunnel that went to the other. You know how they used to with the booze go
Yeah,
through the
I
tunnels
just went on one of those
underground?
tours actually.
Yeah, so
yeah.
it was right
really
by there.
interesting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's
When
cool.
you're in one of those buildings.
Oh, a Guinness, please.
May you get this run on my tabs up there? May I have a tuna?
What?
A tuna?
Tuna.
So there's cameras?
Yeah.
Do I have to sign a non-disclosure?
I don't know. I'm just like you in this process, except I showed up about 10 minutes before you. So I just walked in.
So how long ago did you get the invite?
2 days ago?
So you have more info than I did.
Okay, all right. But he has told me, Jim has told me that he was planning on, working on doing a blog, and I thought, or is that what this is called, a blog maybe, or a podcast? Yeah. So he told me he was, and I'm like, yeah, you should. I mean, he's an interesting guy. He's got a great radio voice, and he's got interesting ideas all the time. So I'm like, yeah. So then he was.
Yeah, but I gotta watch. I already have a problem with flapping my jaw too much.
Yeah, well, if nobody
I need to
watches, we don't
you're
really
right.
have to. It's not really that big of a deal. I know
Well, you
because
could be a little more positive over there.
because when I'm around my friends too, I'm where you just you're
Is it like a radio where someone could call in
well, I bet we could do that, yeah.
and say, "Give me your
But he's the tech guy, so
aldermanic story," before I just start spewing mine out.
for sure. We don't want anybody getting in trouble.
Obviously, it was someone who was rehired because that's why I can't. We did just, we're set for 4 years in terms of who's in their position right now.
Right, and you want to be in a good working relationship with that office, I would imagine.
Well, really, the only thing I care about politically, if I had to do one thing politically, my whole life,
Yeah.
I would get back all of, or even start it from today moving forward, that any piece of anything with monetary value that's getting deposited into pay for a parking meter
Yeah.
goes back to the city of Chicago, goes back to the people of Chicago.
Yeah. I like that idea. Because you like that because we sold off that and now it's profiting some other company and not going to the people of Chicago.
The problem is that it's profiting a company that we don't even know who the company is, because there's direct ties to France, Dubai, and one other
Yeah, well,
country,
they
I
did the
believe,
bus
located
stops,
in
I think,
Switzerland.
that France company and whatnot. However, that being said, parking was a disaster before that deal was made.
I don't care.
I know.
Like, we have
Technology
these
has made it
parking
so
meters
much
up
better
in places
parking
that
in
nobody
Chicago.
ever parks in. And if you do have to park, that money should be going back to the people of Chicago. Those are our
It's Chicago
city
streets,
leaders.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
The
the one
problem
thing
there
I
also
do.
lies in that it would have to filter through the government entity, and then once they see money come through, it never goes to where you want it, where us the citizens want it to
Well,
go
that should
to.
be the one thing that we make very transparent.
And they will make that promise, before the deal struck, and then after the deal struck,
They've
it
already made
never
over
comes.
$1 billion.
Yeah. The company we don't know about. Yeah. Hello.
Sorry, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everything else is okay so far?
So far, so good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's.
It would be nice to give people a choice too to what to vote. At the bottom of every voting ballot, every time you vote for your alderman, it should say, where do you want your money to go? That goes from the parking meters, and that could be a bunch of different charities.
Well,
in
I'm
the top
with you.
three.
I think we could kind of make that could be one of the focuses that we try to with this whole thing here. Kind of an underlying.
There's enough money because we're being taxed every which. Find it right now. Would you like me to look?
But she's saying from the parking. So that's the parking's now run by.
Well, that we'll
private.
never find out. But sales tax. Let me see. Sales tax collected from Cook County.
No wonder the mic was on mute. Yeah, no, I mean the amount of tax revenue is a matter of public knowledge. Like the city puts the budget up on the website. It's a huge file. It's a 60 megabyte file. It's a PDF document that has the entire city budget. The county does the same. It's a little bit harder to get, but you can get it. You can find out what the revenue is if you really wanted to.
But I guess my question to you is, do you believe that those official budgets, do you believe that those numbers are correct?
Well, they have to be correct. I mean, the budget's not audited, right? Like they don't hire Deloitte and Touche to come in. Is Deloitte and Touche even still around?
I think Touche is. I'm not sure about Deloitte.
Oh, yeah. What was the one? Oh, Anderson.
Oh,
Anderson went down as part of the Enron scandal.
Right.
But we digress. So the government statements are not audited, right? But the Cook County treasurer does put out a budget, and it says, this is how much money we took in, this is how much money we took out. Years ago, they raised the cigarette tax, and they said that the raising the cigarette tax was going to bring in something like $600 million. And it brought in something like $320 million. And and the idea was
They had already spent the $600 million.
no, what happened was some people quit smoking, and everybody else stopped buying cigarettes in Cook County. They went to DuPage County, they went to Indiana, they went to Will County, right? So, the University of Purdue did a study that said every time Cook County raises the cigarette tax a dime, Indiana makes $10 million a year.
Who Indiana?
Yeah, good for them. No wonder their pensions are actually paid for. But you get the idea. The information's there. You just have to find it. It's not easy.
Not for the parking meters.
Well, there is no parking meter money. That's all sold.
I know, and that's a really hard one to get. It would be nice to have access to how much that is, and to win that back for the people. That's like I was saying before
It doesn't matter,
when you stepped up.
right? Because the parking meters, it doesn't matter what the money coming in is, because
We don't have access to it.
you don't get the money.
But why can't we write a piece of legislation that says if you're making money off of this, i.e. the money on the meters, you owe Chicago a 99.9% tax?
The streets belong to the people that live on them. The Chicagoans, and the money being, well, of course, there was an initial amount of money that their purchase price that did come in, and that went into the government coffers. But
Not
who knows?
anymore for
Who
a
knows where
long-
that went?
Yeah. And that's the one thing we have to, that I would like to see change within the next 4 years.
What's that?
that we get the money back from the parking meters.
That's not going to happen.
Yes, it can.
It's not going to happen.
It has to.
Eminent domain.
Well, okay. So hang on a second. So, tell me how that works in terms of the guy. Well, let's start with. It was
I
a
would
daily.
say in French.
It was daily worked for Chase, right? Not Bill Daly, but who was the Daly that ran? Bill Daly. It was Bill Daly. Bill Daly worked at Chase Bank with Jamie Dimon when that deal went through, right? And the city got what? $1 billion or $1 trillion? $1 billion. Yeah, $1 billion. So if you want to unwind the deal, the city has to give back $1 billion plus interest. Where is the city going to get the $1 billion to unwind the deal?
That's not the only way to skin a cat.
What? If you want to unwind the deal, you gotta give me the people. They want their $1 billion back.
They've already
Yeah, but
made
they're-
it
but
back
they're
3 times
French.
as much from having the meters. They made a great return on their
No, they have
investment.
not made $1 billion back.
Yes, they have. On the parking meters in Chicago from when they signed it, yes, they have.
How long has it been?
A while.
That's been a long time.
10 years.
Yeah, so another 80.
And what are the? You're saying the parking meters bring in what?
89 to go.
$100
Was
million
it
a year?
Was it a 100-year deal? Is that right?
Well, I heard it was 99 year.
99
year.
I think it was a 75-year deal. I did the math one time. I know Bob Fioretti, the former alderman. And I did the math one time, and I estimated the deal was worth closer to $3 billion. Right? But there's a lot of risk in there, in that. So, for example, you know this in your business. What is the value of a parking spot today greater or less than it was 2 years ago?
Depends what the zip code
I would
is.
think that, yeah, the value would be greater.
Well,
No, I know.
it doesn't matter what the zip code is. You're saying that there are some zip codes where the parking spots are worth more?
But is it are we collecting the money for this company also?
No. No.
Who's writing the tickets?
The city. The city gets the ticket revenue.
The city gets the ticket revenue?
Yeah.
Oh, they're just getting the...
Right. They just get right. The private entity collects the.
The worst is when you get a ticket and you paid the meter. And then you have
Yeah.
to go contest the
That's always-
ticket by paying another meter. And then when you ask the person that's throwing away your ticket where the meter money goes and he can't answer,
It's
They know where it
frustrating.
goes.
he didn't give me the name of the companies.
I mean, the issue is if you paid the meter, you paid the meter.
Yeah, he threw away the ticket part for sure. All I'm saying is that deal is just bizarre to me. It's a very weird thing that there are other entities that are located in countries that aren't our own that are having access and profiting from the meter money that the Chicago people who rest their head here every night are having to pay. It's just so...
It's a bad deal.
Looks like it was a bad deal.
Yeah. I don't know how you unwind it, is
Can't
the
we
issue.
write legislation?
I do like being able to park without having to have the right coins. That was the first. And then also when they first did that too, it seemed like you could find a parking spot. Not so much anymore. People have caught on to how the whole thing works anymore.
Yeah, well, I think the issue is it's a complicated issue, right?
Yes.
The first thing that should happen is you need to raise the parking rates, because there's been a lot of studies that show that people drive around looking for a parking space.
There's
Right.
an app now, that will find a parking spot for you, apparently.
But not at a meter. That's like Spot Hero or something like that. It's a paid spot,
Okay.
right? But the idea is you want to have the city would work best where you can run into a store and you don't have to circle the block 4 or 5 times to find a place to park. So in order to do that, you need to raise the parking rates to open up more spots.
Yes.
You raise the rates, right? You're making a face. Why are you making a face?
Because I do think if you reside somewhere, you should be able to have guests that don't have to either pay a meter that's $4 an hour, or pay a parking garage $25. If that's your guests and that's where you live, and you can't invite people over because parking is so astronomical, that's not fair.
What did you study at the university?
International business and French.
Oh.